What's going on, people? Today we're back with another video and we're going over how to prevent and how to get rid of low back pain. The first exercise is RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, otherwise known as stiff-legged deadlifts. RDLs are a great exercise for people that are prone to low back pain because you're training your whole posterior chain. You're training your hamstrings, your glutes and your spinal erectors. The spinal erectors are the long back muscles that attach at the bottom of the spine and travel all the way up to the top of the spine. By training our posterior muscles, we're going to improve our posture and strengthen the muscles that, when weak, contribute to low back pain. Strengthening the hamstrings and glutes in particular is very important because when these are weakened, our pelvis will tilt forwards and in turn make our low back short and tight. So this exercise is not only important in strengthening your glutes and hamstrings to support your low back, but it's also important for strengthening your low back itself, because once it goes into this position it becomes short and tight, and gradually over time it will become weaker and weaker. And when trying to improve your mobility, it's important we focus on form rather than trying to add as much weight as you can. The next exercise that we have is split squats or deep lunges. So to perform this, we're going to put the bar at the base of our neck, put one foot forward, one foot back, try and maintain the straight back leg, and then we're going to bend the front knee and we're going to lunge forward as far as we can. The things we want to focus on with this exercise are bending the front knee as much as possible, trying to get our hamstring to our calf, and we want to focus on keeping the back leg as straight as possible throughout the entire movement. The main aspect of this exercise that is going to help with low back pain is keeping the back leg straight as we get length through our hip flexors. As we sink our hips down, our hip flexors are being stretched, and under load this is going to make our hip flexors stronger in a lengthened position. The reason that this exercise is important is because that when we have low back pain, more often than not, is because our hip flexors are tight and weak. And having tight or weak hip flexors is going to impact the mobility of our pelvis. Having tight hips is going to pull us into that anterior pelvic tilt position, which is when the glutes are pushed backwards and the front of the hips rotate forwards. Therefore, because we're in this anterior pelvic tilt position, our lower back has rounded inwards, and this is going to create more pressure and strain on our lower back. Weak and tight hips is one of the main causes of low back pain and is very, very common. And this is because we spend a large majority of our time sitting down. This is because excessive sitting causes the muscles to relax and deactivate when they're in a shortened position and should be contracted. This leads to them becoming weaker and shorter from chronically being in the same position. The last thing I want to mention with deep lunges is that you don't need to use a lot of weight when performing this exercise. You don't need to use any weight at all. You can start unweighted and just perform the movement with your body weight, and then gradually progress using dumbbells, starting off light and gradually getting heavier. The next exercise that we have is very simple but effective. It's the sideways reach. This stretch targets the QL muscle, also known as the quadratus lumborum. This muscle attaches from your pelvis all the way up to your ribs. This muscle becomes tight through excessive sitting and lack of exercise. And when this muscle becomes tight, we start to feel low back pain. So we can release some tightness in this muscle by doing the sideways stretch, holding it for about 20 to 30 seconds on both sides. Then we can progress this exercise by adding some light weight to further strengthen the QL muscle to prevent low back pain. It's very simple to perform. Grab a light weight in one hand, bend your shoulders down to one side and bend your torso as much as you can. And to make it a bit more challenging and further add some tension to the QL muscle, when you get down to the bottom, you can reach out to the side to stretch it that little bit more. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you found it useful. Share it with someone that may also find it useful, maybe someone that struggles with back pain from time to time. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.